When my husband gets ready for work as a pilot, he's packing his suitcase too and leaving me and the 4 kids alone for days, sometimes weeks at a time. Traveling spouse, long hours, business trips. This is how to survive as a sometimes single parent. I'm Kristen Chase. I'm a blogger, a mom of 4, a mominatrix, and your host for the Kristen Chase Show. Hi, and thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about sometimes single parents. I am so happy to welcome Tracie Montgomery, mom of 2. Thanks so much for being here today, Tracy.
Thanks for having me.
Now, my husband is a pilot. He's an Air Force reservist, so he's gone a lot, and that's what makes me a sometimes single mom. Maybe you can tell me a little bit about your situation.
My husband is the director of sales for a company and he covers a large territory, so he's gone quite a bit.
Now, I know my husband's gone sometimes days, weeks at a time, and it can be really, really hard just to be by myself and to parent by myself. What do you think the biggest challenges are?
You know, I think the biggest challenge is you're the disciplinarian, you're the nurturer, you know, you're a little bit of the maid, and then it's just a little overwhelming. Yeah.
Well, and I know that there are so many parents out there that are in the same situation. So what I did was put together a list of survival tips for sometimes single parents. First up, make a schedule and stick to it. Now, I don't know about you, Tracy, but this is a huge thing for me. And I'm not really a rigid person, but schedule is key in my house.
Yeah, I'm pretty rigid about the bedtime schedule, and homework starts at 4 o'clock. My kids are the first ones to come in, you know, and they complain sometimes, but that's what I need to do.
And that's why they make the blackout shades, so even if it's light out, they're still in bed.
Yes.
Next up, give yourself a break. Now, I have no problem putting on a movie so that I can get a little 15 minutes of a rest. So what do you do to sort of give yourself some breathing room when you're by yourself?
You know, we recently got a dog, and I send them outside to play with the dog.
That's a good one.
That really works, and then I don't feel so bad. It's, you know, it's not the same old, oh, put a movie on, which I'm guilty of as well.
Next up, ask for help. Now, I don't have any family nearby, which sometimes is a good thing, but I do have a babysitter. I have a great network of neighbors. Now, what do you do when you need help?
Well, my neighborhood has a back lane in it that joins all of our backyards, and I have some really great neighbors that have children the same age as mine. They go to the bus stop together, and so we call each other and say, hey, can you go out in the back lane? And we know what that means. Someone's got to run an errand, and then the other mom will come out with her children, and they'll play together for a little while.
That's so perfect.
Yeah, it's really
great.
great.
If your kids are old enough and they're comfortable,
yes.
Awesome. Next, prepare for re-entry. Now, I don't know how it is in your house, but in mine, things seem to go crazy when my husband gets home. How do you guys handle it?
Well, I've learned to just let him do things his own way. And I also work on the weekends, and I'm gone. I'm a saddle fitter. And I travel, and I'll be gone overnight sometimes. So I come home and have my own reentry. So I think I've learned to appreciate that things are going to be different. You know, we do things differently, and that's fine.
Next up, take care of yourself. Now, when you're everything to everyone, it's really, really hard to, you know, make time for yourself. I try to go running in the morning. I take a break in the afternoon with my friends and get some coffee. What about you? What do you do to give yourself a break?
Well, it is important to take care of yourself, but when my husband's home, we always try to make sure that we make time for each other and nurture our relationship. And when he's not around, you know, we do stay in touch with texts and things like that. Like, we always get that last good night text and, you know, good night, I'm in for the night, love you.
Note to self. Maybe that's why they made vibrators in Skype. Just saying. Okay, so the bottom line is that sometimes single parenting can be really hard, but it can also be really wonderful. I mean, I love getting into that big bed all by myself and sometimes being the only one my kids answer to. But what are your favorite parts about it?
I think that they get to know each one of us individually as a parent is really good for them. And I do like the fact that my husband gets a taste of what it's like to be on his own when I'm gone on the weekends.
Yeah. I want to thank Tracy for joining us today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks for watching. So, how do you survive being a sometimes single parent? Hit me up on Twitter and make sure to subscribe to CafeMom Studios on YouTube. Thanks for joining me. On the next episode of The Kristen Chase Show,
Don't share anything you wouldn't want your spouse to see, period.
yeah, or make sure you log out and clear your history.
Or log out.